Loops are often used with arrays. An array is a data structure that can hold many values, and we often want to use every value in an array, or we want to change every value in an array, or we want to do something with the data in an array, and we can use a loop for this. We have here an array of type integer on line 9. The array is called myIntegers, and it has 10 places, so we can store 10 values in this array. And we have created this array, but it doesn't have any values yet. It doesn't store anything. So we will use this while loop to store a value on every place in this array. We will use the counter variable to help us create a condition. The condition has to let the loop run 10 times so that we can store a value in every place in the array. So the condition looks like this. First we use the counter variable, and as long as counter is smaller than the length of the array, and we can find the length of array using an attribute on the array itself. So we are using the array myIntegers dot, and we are calling the attribute length. And this value gives us the length of the array. In this case, it's 10. Now, in the code portion of the loop, we can assign a value to every place in the array. So we have myIntegers, and we have to give an index, which means that we have to say which place we want to store a value in. And since we want to store a value in every place, this index has to grow. So we will use the counter variable as an index. And we will assign to it the value of the counter variable itself. And in the next line, we increase the value of counter by 1. So in the first run, counter equals 0, and then the index will be 0, which means that we will store the value of counter in the first place. So the value 0 will be stored in the first place. In the next run, the value of counter is 1, and then the index in the integer is 1, so then we are working with the second place of the array, and the value of counter is stored in this place. So 1 will be stored in the second place of the array. In the next run, counter is 2, so that will be the third place of the array, and the value of counter will be stored in this place. So we go through the entire loop like this, and we store the value of counter inside the array. So if we run the code, there is no printout, but the array is populated with the values of counter.